There's nothing like the blazing heat of summer to test a gardener's patience and their plant's resilience. By mid-season, raised beds feel like ovens, soil dries out faster than ever, and gardeners rush to lay down mulch to save moisture. But here's the part many people miss. If you apply mulch directly onto hot, dry soil without taking one crucial step first, you could do more harm than good. Mulch traps heat as well as moisture, and if the soil underneath is already sun-scorched, you're essentially locking in that heat, creating a slow cooker effect that can literally burn shallow roots and stall plant growth. If you've ever added mulch in summer and noticed your plants starting to wilt or yellow soon after, this is why. The most common mistake gardeners make in summer is assuming mulch works the same way year-round. In spring and autumn, mulch acts as a gentle blanket, warming cool soil or preserving moisture during transition periods. But in summer, it becomes a different tool entirely. By then, your soil surface may have reached dangerous temperatures, especially in raised beds or containers. In direct sun, soil can exceed 120 degrees Fahrenheit at the surface. And when you lay dry mulch over that, without pre-watering, you're trapping that heat in place, right where tender feeder roots live. To prevent this, the solution is surprisingly simple. Water deeply before mulching. This single action flips the outcome entirely. Instead of locking in heat, your mulch locks in moisture. Instead of shocking your plants, it shields them from further stress. Moist soil helps dissipate heat faster, and when covered with mulch, the evaporation slows dramatically. This creates a stable, cool environment where roots can breathe, microbes stay active, and water usage becomes far more efficient. Your mulch becomes a coolant rather than an insulator of damage. Start by watering your bed slowly and thoroughly before you even open the mulch bag, or start raking up yard debris. Let the water penetrate at least 6 inches down. You can use a soaker hose, a slow trickle from a hose end, or even multiple passes with a watering can. What really matters here is that the entire soil zone is saturated and has had enough time to cool before you go ahead and apply the mulch. If you're dealing with especially dry or compacted soil, you might need to water over a couple of days to make sure the bed is fully hydrated before putting on a cover layer. Once the soil is good and moist, you'll want to apply your mulch in the early morning or late afternoon, but never during those peak sunlight hours. Mulching in the heat of the day actually traps surface warmth that just hasn't had a chance to dissipate yet. Cooler temperatures mean the mulch bonds better with the moist soil underneath, and honestly, it starts working right away to regulate temperature and suppress evaporation. In terms of material, the type of mulch you use also plays a role. Lighter, more breathable mulches like shredded leaves, straw, and coarse compost work better in the heat because they don't mat down and trap heat as aggressively. Dark, dense mulches like fresh wood chips or bark can absorb and radiate heat if used improperly, especially when applied in thick layers on hot days. If you're already seeing signs of heat stress in your garden, drooping leaves by midday, dry, crusty soil, or plants that perk up at night but slump again by noon, mulching can absolutely help, but only if it's done with hydration in mind. Adding mulch over dry soil at this point will only delay recovery. You need to get water down into the root zone first, then mulch to hold it there. This combination can revive heat-stressed plants, stabilize root temperatures, and reduce how often you need to irrigate. There's also a microbial angle to consider. Soil life suffers dramatically under hot, dry conditions. The beneficial fungi, bacteria, and invertebrates that support plant growth go dormant or die off when exposed to prolonged heat and dryness. By watering first, you allow those organisms to rebound. And once you add mulch, you give them a protected, moist habitat where they can thrive. This is where soil structure improves, organic matter breaks down more efficiently, and roots gain better access to nutrients. In other words, a hydrated and mulched bed isn't just preserving moisture, it's actively building better soil. In some climates, especially arid zones or during drought, You can also experiment with layering wet cardboard, damp straw, or partially decomposed compost as your base mulch layer. These materials already hold moisture and act like a sponge beneath your regular mulch. When placed over damp soil, they add an extra layer of protection and cooling, especially around sensitive plants like tomatoes, cucumbers, or shallow-rooted herbs. Another overlooked benefit of watering before mulching is preventing mulch runoff during rain or irrigation. Dry soil tends to repel water at first, which can cause mulch to slide or shift during watering. Pre-wetting helps bind the mulch in place, forming a consistent, protective cover that doesn't wash away at the first storm or hose blast. So if you're heading into a hot stretch and thinking about refreshing or adding mulch, stop and check the soil first. If it's bone dry, dusty, or cracked, don't mulch yet. Water deeply, let the bed cool down, then mulch. That simple sequence, water first, mulch after, can make the difference between plant stress and plant success. It's one of the easiest, most effective summer strategies, and it protects both your plants and the biology beneath them. If this guide helped you rethink your summer mulching routine, be sure to subscribe to HydroHaven for more essential soil-smart techniques that truly work. Share this with fellow gardeners who might be unknowingly baking their roots with good intentions, because sometimes, saving your garden starts with a hose, a pause, and a better way to mulch.